How's it going, everybody? And welcome to Justthenobodys podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm your host, Daniel.
And today, we're going to do a podcast.
Good intro.
I mean, hey, that's what we're doing.
This episode will be about Squid Game.
Can we just talk about Squid Game for a second? I feel like it's one of the craziest shows. Such a creative concept, but like so familiar. Does that make sense? Like familiar in the sense of like we've seen the Hunger Games, we've seen these like battle royale stories and stuff, but now to have a show where it's these simple kids games.
Yeah, I remember the first time you told me to watch it, I was like, what the heck is Squid Game? Because the name of the show is like a real turnoff. Like it's like, what is that?
Right. I mean, I feel too though. I think the show wouldn't have been as big if it wasn't for people on TikTok. Like I remember I wasn't gonna watch the show. I didn't even know what it was until I saw someone put a clip on TikTok of these guys playing red light, green light.
Yeah.
And the red light, green light scene, as we all know, was like iconic in a sense of mind blowing.
Like right when you see it, like the first guy go down, you're like, wait, is this really how it's gonna go?
No, and then even like when the first guy goes down, and then everybody freaks out and starts running.
Yeah.
It is.
It's just a freaking massacre.
It is. Oh man. But yeah, I think Squid Game was an amazing show.
Oh, 100%. Once you watch the whole thing through, you totally understand why it's the #1 show in 90 different countries or something like that.
Is it 90?
I think so. And I saw this one thing too. The writer of the show wrote the story back in 2009 and he was denied like all throughout 2009 to now.
You know, I think I heard about that too. Isn't it crazy?
They denied the story and he was having like money troubles. So he had to sell the laptop that I think he wrote it on.
So he kind of was writing about his own life almost.
It seemed like it because 2009 to 2020, you got denied and now it's the #1 show.
I know.
Like ever.
So Forbes magazine, as you know, business is a huge magazine, right?
Yeah.
They said that Squid Game is so huge for Netflix that it's been driving their stock price like way up.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, didn't you say something about them Netflix getting sued too because of how big it is?
Okay, so basically they're getting sued for two different things. Squid Game is so big in South Korea, like the Wi-Fi companies cannot support the amount of like people trying to stream stuff.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, and then did you okay, you know the card, the Squid Game card, like when he
with the one with the number on the the phone number.
When he invites them to play.
Yeah.
There's a number on the card, right? As you know.
Yeah.
It's actually a real person's number.
Are you serious?
So like this guy, he's had the same number for so long, and he said that he doesn't want to change his number because like for business purposes, like he's had it for so long, so he wants to keep it. But it's a real number. You can call that guy. He's been getting like hundreds of thousands of calls, but Netflix has to pay him something because it's actually against the law to do what they did.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You're letting out people's personal information.
That's crazy. Can you imagine? He probably has all these messages of just, I want to play the game.
The way they filmed the show, the way they wrote it, everything about it, totally like what you're saying, makes you as the viewer have such a great experience because there's things that are hidden in plain sight. Once you watch the entire show, then you can appreciate those hidden details.
Right. And I remember the first time I watched the show, I was like, oh my gosh, I wanted it to end, but I didn't want it to end. Man, I really don't want to watch this again. Like I don't want to rewatch it.
Right.
Because of how gruesome it was.
What's so funny though, I remember asking you because I was on episode 7, you were on episode 8. We didn't watch it together, but you told me you're like on episode 8, you're like, gosh, just one more episode. I don't know how this is going to end. And most of the time, right, when you have a show reaching the end of a binge watching session, right, you kind of see like, oh, okay, I kind of see how the show is going to end. There's 2 more episodes. I see where it's going. But Squid Game, you don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, you know there's one more game, right? Like what happens after the games? Like there's so much left to the story.
But also too, there were so many weird turns and twists in the show. Like you're kind of like, wait, that's what made me not know how it's going to end.
Right.
I was like seeing all these different like weird coincidences and I was like, dude, that's why I told you. I was like, I have no idea what's going to happen. Is there going to be a season 2 or no?
All I'm saying is Ollie, I take my hat off to Ollie.
That was the saddest death, I think. I feel.
But it's like so sad too because you can tell like Ollie was like, no, I'm not going to do it. But then you just see like Sung-woo start begging. And you just feel like, oh, Ollie's such a good guy. He's just gonna give in.
I know. I was just watching. I was like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna just do it.
I know. I have to say, I genuinely can't believe how good it is.
Yeah, and definitely the biggest twist, the old man.
That's equivalent to like Star Wars, like when Darth Vader says like, I am your father to Luke.
Yeah, it was crazy. But see, what's crazy is too, when I watched it the first time, Remember I told you, I was like, there's something kind of weird. Like, I saw something, but I didn't know if I was right or not. But then at the end, I knew. I was like, that was what I was thinking.
You actually thought the old man was bad?
Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, when you told me that theory, I don't understand how you saw that, though.
First, right, when they're playing red light, green light.
Yeah.
The old man was weirdly happy to play. He was smiling.
That is
He
true.
was the only one that was moving first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, the guy, he's literally running like the first couple times.
Yeah. And he was the first guy to start going again when the first guy went down.
Right. It's like he knew.
Right. And then you know how like the robot scans everybody to make sure they're not moving.
Right.
Everyone's getting scanned except for him.
I know. When you said that, man, I can't believe I didn't see that when I was watching it.
I didn't even think anything of it.
You know why though? It's like it was such like a stressful situation to watch. You like you're not even trying to pay attention to like the little details because it's like so much intensity, you know?
But then later in the show, right, we see someone actually take off a VIP mask and put it on the desk. But then the scene cuts. When I saw that, I was like, what the heck was that? But then that's where I started putting it together, right? They only showed his hand. And you could tell it's an old man's hand.
Right.
And then at the beginning of the game, they were deciding to play, to continue to play, or to not play.
Yeah.
And the last vote was the old man, right?
Yeah.
And the scene was just him and his hand on which button to press.
That's so crazy that you even like thought of that.
They only focused on his hand, on what button he was going to press.
Right.
And if you really go back and watch it, you could tell. Like, that's the same hand.
Yeah. I mean, looking back now, like after you told me this theory, like it makes a lot of sense. But man, in the moment, this went right over my head.
Yeah. And then, too, when the detective's going through the front man's room, he sees the old man's VIP outfit. Is there a VIP there? Because when the VIPs come, they're already in their suits and their masks.
Right.
So you know that there's a VIP there because a costume's already there.
See, what I thought was that the front man is like the VIP.
That's what I thought at first, too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ruth Bell. She was able to find all these hidden details and make some crazy theories out of them.
So basically, Ruth Bell, she did a theory. This is like one of the first theories she did on Squid Game. And you talked about this.
Yeah.
How in the room, like where all the players sleep, if you move the beds, there's every single game you play in like in the whole game.
When you really start, you really see it, right? When it's the last three contestants, Gion, Sangwoo, and Saebyuk, right? You really can look at the wall. But even then, I was so into the show, like thinking, okay, all three of the contestants have a knife. Who's going to go for who first?
Right. You're not looking around. That's what's like so crazy to me is how we missed it.
Yeah. It was honestly one of the best filmed shows I've ever seen.
Yeah. Another one Ruth Bell did what was really good was we see Gion and the old man have like a great relationship, right?
Right.
It's almost like a father-son relationship.
Yeah. See, this theory is so crazy to me, but I can see how they can totally introduce this in season 2.
When Gion's getting food from the workers, right? They're handing out food, and one of the drink options is milk. And he goes like, "Oh, I'm allergic to milk. You know, I need chocolate milk."
Yeah.
So this is what he says, actually. Then the old man says, "I'm willing to bet as a kid you got spanked a lot." And then Gion says, "How'd you know that?" The old man said, "My son did too. He was just like you, friend." And as we know, we were talking about this. It's like he's basically saying like, "Oh, you're just like my son."
Yeah, and see, the first time watching that flew right over my head.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought anything of that?
I didn't think anything of it.
And then when they're playing the marbles game, you see them in like this looks like a neighborhood of like in somewhere in South Korea. And the old man says, "You know, when I was a kid, I lived in a neighborhood just like this." And then Gion said, "So did I." And then the old man says, "Our alleyways look similar as well." So there's another reason why they could be related.
And 2, we never see Gion's dad. We only see his mom, right?
Right.
And she never talks about what life was like with his dad.
So this theory that Ruth Bell did is basically that the old man is actually Gion's dad. When the old man starts to lose his memory, Gion's like, "What's going on with this guy?" And the old man's like, "What day is it?" And Gion's like, "What?" The old man's like, "Is today the 24th?" And Gion's like, "What?" And the old man's like, "Because my son's birthday's coming up soon."
Yeah.
So then get this. When Ruth Bell said this, I was so shocked. She said, in the beginning of the show, right, we see Gion go to the ATM to try to get money. And he's entering his birthday into the machine to like try to get as a pin. And he types in 426, right? Which is April 26th.
Right.
So the old man's son's birthday is a couple days after the 24th. So, which could be the 26th, which is Gion's birthday.
See, Things like that, though, are reasons why this show is number one. It's really the reason why.
The cards and the dachi cards.
Oh my gosh, that one was genius.
Yeah. I mean, it's so like, it's like one of those things where, man, how did we not think of that?
Yeah.
So basically, remember when like Gion's in the subway and there's this guy that walks up to him like with the briefcase with the dachi cards and the money, and he offers Gion to play a game. Like, hey, I'll give you 100,000 if you beat me in this game.
Yeah.
And he gives Gion a choice of the blue card or the red card.
Right.
So the theory is that Ruth Bell talked about was the color of the card you pick determines the role you play in the games. So Gion, as we know, he picked blue. Right?
Yeah.
So, and he woke up as a contestant in the games wearing like the bluish green jumpsuit.
Right.
But the theory is that if he were to pick red, he would have woke up as a worker, right? Because we see like the workers, you know, they're looking for money too. They're trying to harvest those organs and sell them for money.
Right. And that was one of the weird points in the show. Like, you're like, why are they doing that? You know?
Right.
You really want to know what their backstory is.
It's like one of those mysteries where it's like, it's almost better they didn't talk about it because it leaves it open for season 2.
Yeah.
But it's really confusing.
Right. There's also that the workers are actually past winners of Squid Game. Right. So this theory goes, so we know all the contestants of Squid Game are all people in debt. They have money issues that they'll never be able to pay off.
Right. I mean, what did Sung Woo? He was like millions and millions of dollars in debt, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was like a ridiculous amount. Like, it's totally unpayable if they were to just not play the game. If they were just to live out their lives, they would have never paid it.
Right.
So we know these people have gambling problems and money issues, right?
Yeah.
So when they win, the theory is that they gamble all of it away again.
If someone's financially irresponsible, giving them more money isn't all of a sudden going to make them like smart with their money. Like
exactly. Right? They could totally just blow it all.
Right.
And then they lose everything again. So the theory goes that they're actually invited back to the games, but not as a player, only as a worker. Because we know the games are only about fair chance and equality. Because we saw the doctor and all those workers getting the organs, they got killed because it was unfair advantage.
There's things that if you won the game before, you know that at night you can go kill people.
Exactly.
Which you wouldn't have known if you haven't played the game before.
Right. None of them knew in Squid Game until the gangster guy killed that one guy.
Right.
And then everything went downhill from there.
Right, because if you were smart and say if you're a past winner, right, and you're able to play the games again, you're going to form an alliance right off the bat, right? And you're going to tell them, look, every time you kill somebody, we're going to get more money, right?
Right.
And then you're just going to go on a killing spree and just wipe everybody out.
Exactly. And that's such a big advantage to know that off the bat. You know what I mean? So it'd be so unfair for a winner to come back and play. So that's why they're workers trying to get their money back from a job.
If you haven't seen Squid Game yet, sorry, we just spoiled the whole show for you, but it's still worth watching. I mean, I could rewatch the show, I think. I think I would like it again.
Oh, 100% I would like it again. It's one of those shows you almost want to rewatch. After seeing all the hidden details in there, you want to rewatch it.
So as you guys know, we do this segment with my girlfriend Leia called Whose Side Are You On? And we're going to do that right now.
I love this segment, by the way.
So basically, Whose Side Are You On is a segment where Leia's going to tell a story about people that actually submit their like personal life stories into Reddit. And they're like, am I right? Or is my boyfriend right? Or my girlfriend right? There we go. Leia's in the house. All right.
Woo! Give it up for Leia.
Leia. Rocking the Joshua Tree hat.
So Leia's going to read us the story. And then we're going to decide whose side are we on.
All right. Ready? Okay, so whose side are you on? This story is about outdressing my friend at her party. So it's the girl versus the friend.
Ooh.
My friend is having a birthday party soon. I was invited last week and informed it was a dress-coded event, which I don't mind. The dress code was only that you had to wear a certain color and your outfit had to be formal. So I picked out one of those vintage-style dresses with a lace pattern over it in an assigned color. I told the host when I bought it, and she didn't say anything bad about it, didn't say it was too formal or anything. Then a full week later, she texts me saying she thinks I'm going to outdress her, and it was unfair of me to pick a dress like that, and worse, that I didn't get her approval. I feel that she is in the wrong because I can't cancel the order now, and I have no time to get a new dress. She also told me she already switched out her dress, so I don't understand why she brought it up at all. Whose side are you on?
Oh, this is a good one. I feel like this is something that a lot of people can relate to. But see, even was there a color code they said? There was a color code?
It was color coded and it was formal.
Okay, see, in that case, I think you should get approval.
Right?
Because if you go, right, and say you're not in the right color or you're not in the right attire, like appropriate attire, then you're the odd one out.
But the friend didn't say, like, she didn't disapprove it. But then she's like, no, you're going to outdress me, so you can't wear that.
Okay, well, in my opinion, then, it almost seems as if her friend was jealous that she got a nice dress.
It is her party, though.
Oh, my gosh. Okay,
So-
see, I didn't catch that.
But hey, it ain't bad. Looking good. Like, you can't go wrong
Okay,
with a nice dress.
in that case, though, whenever I'm going to, like, someone else's party, like, it's for their birthday, I'm not going to dress to, like, make sure I stand out. Because it's not my day to stand out.
That's true. Like a wedding. Like, you don't want to outdress the bride. You don't want to wear white.
Right. That's the rule, right? You
That's
don't
true.
wear white to a wedding.
Right.
That's true.
You don't outdress the birthday girl, right?
Right.
You're right. You're right.
So, oh, wow, that changes everything.
Okay, I think now that I got a little recap here, it sounds like the girl that bought the dress, who's invited to the girl's birthday, is wrong. She's trying to outshine the birthday girl when it's not even her day.
Right. And I feel like the birthday girl doesn't really know, like, how to address it right. So she says, like, oh, you're going to outdress me. Kind of showing, like, she doesn't want her to outdress her. Like, get something else to wear because you're obviously going to look better than me wearing that.
Like, she was trying to be nice about it, but she could have handled it better.
Right. She could have handled it better. The girl who wrote the story should have known that,
Right.
look, I should respect that it's her day and not mine. I can't outdress her. You know what I mean?
So do we all have a vote?
The friend side. The friend is right.
I'm on the side you're on.
Yeah, me too. The birthday girl. All right.
All right, thank you, Leia.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Leia. Everyone
Nice.
give it up
Look
for
at us, we
Leia.
both have hats on. No cap.
Yes.
See, they do this, like, cute couple stuff in front of me to do stuff, you know, just to mess with me.
Thank you, Leia.
Get out of here.
I guess we should talk about a theory. Have you heard of the McDonald's ice cream machine theory?
No, I only know that they never have ice cream when I want to get ice cream.
I think that happens to a lot of us, right? I mean, you go up to 8 o'clock at night, dessert time, you're like, hey, can I get a soft serve on a cone? And like, oh, sorry, ice cream machine's not working. And it's almost like they've engraved it into our mind where, like, we expect it to be not working.
Yeah. Like, now I never go there for ice cream.
In 1955, McDonald's opened up, right? And I think it started in somewhere in California, like San Bernardino or something. And the guy, the creator of McDonald's, ended up putting in a ice cream machine, and it actually was made by this company called Taylor Ice Cream Machines.
Okay.
Like, they're like the biggest company for ice cream machines. They supply Chick-fil-A, they supply Carl's Jr., they supply Burger King, all like the biggest fast food places.
Right.
What's so weird is that McDonald's has this one machine, okay? And they've had it for like 15 years or so. This one machine continues to have the same issue where it like doesn't always work. It has like a self-maintenance where it goes into this maintenance mode, and employees at McDonald's cannot fix it. Like, it requires a service person to come out. See, what's so weird though is that McDonald's has been using the same machine for 15 years. When there's upgraded machines, like updated Taylor machines, that like Chick-fil-A, all these other competitors, they all have the new machines and they don't have these issues where their ice cream machine doesn't work. So the theory is that McDonald's does this on purpose to actually make Taylor more money, the ice cream machine.
Oh, because they always have to, like, pay to get the people to come out to fix it.
Say if your car broke down, right?
Yeah.
You can go to any mechanic you want and get it fixed. But Taylor and McDonald's from the very beginning had this one agreement. And that agreement is your franchises cannot hire outside service people to come in to work on the Taylor machines. They have to be Taylor certified workers to work on the machines.
Oh my gosh.
So this whole dilemma is that the reason why Taylor wants McDonald's to continue to use these old machines and not get the new ones is because they make hundreds, like almost millions of dollars just in service fees. For example, like say if you own a McDonald's, right, franchise.
Right.
McDonald's, you know, they take a percentage of what you make, right? But at the end of the day, you're putting your own money into your business. Like, you're trying to run this McDonald's, right? So
Yeah.
you have to cover the expenses. So McDonald's and Taylor knows that you're going to have to pay for every time that service machine, like when the machine needs service, right?
Mhm.
So you're going to have to call Taylor, right?
Yeah.
You're going to pay Taylor to come out and fix it because you're under contract to not to go to any other mechanic or any other service team. You have to go through Taylor.
That is the biggest scam I've ever heard.
Right? Because majority of Taylor's money is not on ice cream sales or ice cream machine sales. It's all through their service.
What the heck?
So literally, it shows that they make money on making a crappy machine, really.
See, I always thought like specific McDonald's in our area were like their ice cream machines just sucked. But then I started hearing that it was all over the nation.
No, because every single McDonald's, Daniel, has the same machine. They have to. It's the rules.
What? Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How do they not see like that's like that's scamming?
The new machines now that Taylor makes is very easy to understand for the employees to figure out what's going on. Like, okay, this error, I know how to fix it because it says right here what to do. But with these old McDonald's machines that they use, the reason why the workers can't fix it, the service people at Taylor have a book and they're searching coding that only they have access to.
You gotta be kidding
So
me.
even if you think you know how to fix the machine, you could be the smartest person in the world. If you don't have the access code and the coding from Taylor's user manual that only the service people have, you won't be able to fix it. No.
That is the craziest thing. What?
Yeah, so that's why, 8 o'clock at night or whatever time you try to go get ice cream, it's always never working. Because in a way, it's McDonald's and Taylor's way of helping Taylor get more money.
That is crazy. And all these other companies are using Taylor machines that don't need service all the time because
Right.
they work right.
And hear me out here is like McDonald's, the company McDonald's, it doesn't cost them anything. They're charging their franchise owners to pay for the service fees.
Oh my
So in a way, it's like
gosh.
they're helping Taylor. You know what I mean?
Right, but they're screwing the franchise owners.
Exactly. They are.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
it's
How
pretty
is that
disgusting.
not public knowledge?
But if you talk to any franchise owner of McDonald's, they'll tell you the same thing.
Dude, that is crazy. That is a scam if
Yeah.
I've ever seen one.
I know. I feel bad for the franchise owners.
At that point, that's not even a theory. That's a fact.
I mean, it's a theory on the sense that McDonald's is doing it in
In secret. They're like
Right.
keeping it confidential.
but no, the theory is though is that they're doing it intentionally.
Oh,
Right.
to help them.
We know
Help
that
Taylor.
it's happening. Like that's a fact.
Yeah.
But we don't know that McDonald's really like the real intentions behind it.
Oh, I see.
No, I know. I'll never forget the theory you told me about how the yellow arches, golden arches,
Yeah.
visually make you hungry and impulsive and you want to go buy their food.
Right. That's why a lot of companies use red and yellow.
Right.
Right? Wendy's, Carl's Jr., a lot of fast food places use red and yellow.
And it's sad how, like us adults, right? We're affected mentally, like and psychologically by these colors.
Right.
Could you imagine, like, for these kids, there's so much stuff going on in the world where, like, you have video games, you have iPhones, you have these colors that are, like, psychologically always messing with the
Right.
kids these days.
And they have no knowledge of it.
Right? I mean, I certainly do not. I couldn't tell you when I'm getting manipulated or not.
So coming off of that theory, I brought a new theory too.
Oh, you brought a new theory, huh?
A new one. Okay. So you know that show COCOMELON? About like
Oh
with
my
the little
gosh,
babies for
CoComelon.
kids?
Yeah, I know COCOMELON. It's pretty. Okay, I'm just saying this right now. I don't know how many subscribers they have on YouTube, but like COCOMELON kind of for me is disturbing.
Yeah. But what's crazy is I think they've like broken like YouTube records.
What's
And
bad is when you're at a restaurant and you see a kid with an iPad and you just know you're like you're watching COCOMELON, aren't you? And there he is, just on COCOMELON.
Yeah, and so so there's a theory that the reason why kids like it so much is because the music in COCOMELON have certain frequencies that resonate with kids to make them highly irritable, highly addicted, and also aggressive. So the frequencies mess with their brains, but they don't know it, right? So they just continue watching it because even parents have come forward and said, my kids, after watching COCOMELON, they become like highly irritable, like easily irritated. And then when they take it away, like say like it's like bedtime and they
Yeah.
take away the iPad,
Uh-huh.
parents say they're more aggressive than usual.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Like also like when you're saying like when the parents are like, okay, time for bed, like gotta take the iPad back. They're like, no, like they get mad.
Yeah. The frequencies that mess with your brain are in the songs for COCOMELON, but they only are frequencies that resonate with kids. That's why for adults, right, the music's so annoying. It's not just because it's kiddie. It's actually irritating to listen to because the frequencies don't resonate with us. They resonate with the kids.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Like that's so weird too when you think about it though. Like even how I just remember hearing this. There's certain frequencies only young people can hear, right?
Yeah.
When we reach a certain age, you can't hear certain ones anymore.
Yeah. See, dude, they are ruining the kids.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say it. I love YouTube. I consume a lot of YouTube. I love watching it.
Right.
But you know, when you could like when you publish a video, you
Mhm.
can put made for kids or not made for kids. When you hit made for kids, it cancels out any opportunity for like a comment section.
Uh-huh.
But what's weird is, you know, like when you watch a YouTube video, like when you and I are watching videos, say we're watching the Nelk Boys,
Yeah.
right? And we're like, oh, okay, the show's about to end, or the episode's about to end. So you like pull down on the screen, you're like looking for what else is like next to watch.
Yeah.
When you have a video that's labeled for kids, it cancels any opportunity. Like the video will pause. So say they like leave, like they want to like look, like search for another video and like have the video play at the same time, the video will not play. Basically what they're trying to say is like, we want your attention to be on this video. We don't want you like looking for other things, or it won't work.
Oh, I always wondered why it did that. Yeah, sometimes I get videos that are like kiddie videos, but
You
I
watching COCOMELON in
Yeah.
secret?
I never knew why they did that.
Yeah,
But
that's
it makes
why.
sense,
COCOMELON could be doing something to those kids.
right? And see, all these parents always say, "Don't play video games. Don't play too many video games," right?
Yeah.
And they always say, "Don't stay up too late." But video games have actually been proven to help kids. They benefit from like reaction time.
Right. I mean, I'd rather see my son or daughter playing a game where they're having to think and like use their hand-eye coordination skills and like reaction time,
Yeah.
compared to just watching COCOMELON on a screen where you're just like feed me. Like,
See, I feel like CoCoMelon's not even really like educational in a way.
it's not. It's repetition of like life. Like, but see, this is the whole thing. It's about like life skills, like life lessons and like
Oh.
learning. Right. Whatever
that's
COCOMELON's
true.
teaching them, that's what they're gonna know. Right.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful as parents, right? If you're going to let your kids consume this content, whatever this content is trying to push, whatever narrative they're trying to push, that's what your kids are going to believe.
Yeah. I guess luckily for us, we only had like Dora and stuff.
Yeah, but who knows back then too what they were trying to teach us.
That is true. So you know how SpongeBob is like really fast paced? There's a lot of movement, screen shakes, and everything like that. Like everything is moving super fast at one time.
Even like for us, right? Mom and dad didn't really want us watching SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's like a super hectic show.
Yeah.
But they actually found like it's been proven that it actually messes with kids' like problem solving skills.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though, because when you look at SpongeBob, he doesn't have really good problem solving skills at all.
No, he just gets lucky.
Yeah.
Right? But the one person, Sandy, who's really intelligent, good at a lot of things, they
Right.
don't show her very much.
You know what? You're right. She's not in a lot of episodes, is she?
No.
Gosh, that's weird. They don't want the smart person in there.
Exactly. And she's always the one to come in and save the day.
Wow. That's a real like eye opener, that the fact that this is kind of what we kind of grew up on.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes with what we're talking about COCOMELON, how like whatever your kids are watching, right? Whatever that narrative is or whatever they're trying to push, like that's what they're going to think is real.
That's what they're going to think is right.
Right, exactly, right. That's what they're going to think is right.
Yeah.
As you guys know, we're huge Marvel fans. I'm
Yes.
sure there's a lot of Marvel fans out there too. We got to talk about Spider-Man with all this crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we actually went to the Venom premiere in LA, and it was really cool. Venom's a great movie. And by now, spoiler alert, we all know the post-credit scene.
Oh my gosh.
The
That
post-credit scene.
post-credit scene was I think that was one of the craziest in the MCU ever.
It did the impossible, really. It did something that we always wished for and hoped for.
Yeah.
That the two cinematic universes, right? We have the Sony projects and then the Marvel projects to
Right.
come together. It was the first time ever, really.
Yeah. But I think that was probably the biggest highlight. That's the first time since Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that we see a Spider-Man and a Venom in the same place,
Wow, I
in the
didn't
same
think about that.
universe.
Yeah, that's true. So, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a good movie. But kind of coming off of that, my whole thing is Andrew and Tobey Maguire, are they in this movie?
They have to be.
I know.
The hype is too high for it not to be true.
So as you know, there was those leaks that came out, right? And how Andrew Garfield was like saying on a bunch of talk shows, like, I'm not in it. I don't want to disappoint anybody, but I'm not in it.
Yeah.
But Tobey Maguire, some of his lines from the movie got leaked.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he like said something about like, you guys have web shooters, right? Because he has organic webs.
Oh my god.
And they all have web shooters. It's just, and then he said there's a line where it goes, Octavius died in my world. He's probably talking about how Octavius is still alive in theirs or something like that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But it's just all these things are confirming that he's definitely in this movie. We
Oh
got to
my
meet
gosh.
Cosmic Wonder at the premiere of Venom. And as you guys know, Cosmic Wonder is like an OG. He knows so much about Marvel, very knowledgeable about all superhero stuff. And we were talking like, gosh, is like Andrew Garfield going to be in this movie? Is Tobey going to be in this movie? And he said, from what he understands is that they're all gonna be in it.
They have to be. Cosmic Wonder says it. It's true.
It's probably true. It's probably true. We just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support you give us. We can't believe, like, it's just an overwhelming sense of support, and we just love you guys so much. And we want you to know this, that this channel, this platform we have right now, it belongs to everybody. Like, you guys are all a part of this. If you're passionate about making videos, or you're passionate about whatever it is, whatever you may be passionate about.
Another thing too, don't let your failures discourage you. If anything, let that push you. And you can't let people tell you that your failures define you, because they don't.
And I guess we'll leave it at that, and we'll move on to, I'll see you guys tomorrow on TikTok.
Yep. We'll see you guys on TikTok.
God bless you guys. See ya.
See ya.